Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Calibre Wings live stream with me, Noel. And yeah, welcome to the stream. Thank you all for joining. It's been a while. It's been a while since we were back on air, and we tried to do something back last week in Shizuoka. But apparently, the reception was so bad that I had to just cut the feed. So yeah, it's been like 2 months since the last stream where I was introducing to you guys the test shot of the MiG 31, and obviously have been very busy ever since, right? So wanted to definitely keep in touch with you guys again via a live stream. And I thought that the last week was a good opportunity for me to get online and show you guys, right, the Shizuoka Hobby Show 2023, where it all started for Calibre Wings. Because back in 20, was it 16? I got to check the dates, right? 2016, I went to Shizuoka Hobby Show with the F-14 prototype on that mirror base, which I replicated this time round for the B-58 prototype. So yeah, brings back lots of memories. Let's say hi to Michael Ford, who is in the stream. Thank you so much, Michael, for joining. Good to see you, my friend. And of course, Takaran as well, good supporter of the brand. So yeah, I mean, it was really a little bit disappointing that I had to cut the feed on the Shizuoka Hobby Show, because I was on this like pocket Wi-Fi, and when I was doing a trial run before we got live, I noticed that there were some blind spots where the signals was just cutting the feed off. So, in the end of the day, we couldn't move around. And even back in the entrance, the feed was just all over the place. So, well, you guys can actually see, various people who have done the actual whole tour of the Shizuoka Hobby Show and placed on really high resolution videos. Go check it out, right? Andy's Hobbies. I think I actually saw the guy, but I didn't say hi to him. For those of you all know Andy's Hobbies from, I think, from the either Australia or UK. I saw the guy, and he made the great video on the whole show, as well as another channel that there's few channels anyway. So enough of that, right? This today is just a chat to get back into the groove. The reason why we're in Shizuoka again, long pandemic hiatus. We couldn't go traveling, couldn't go attend the shows, but we were back, this year, 2023, and trying to get back into the groove of things with the showing that we had at the show. Obviously, trying to put out the next wave of the Ultimate Vipers, right? Having the fiasco of the Wave 2, hopefully behind us. We're having the Wave 2, by the way, on discount on the website. So if you just go to our website at calibrewings.com, you will see that the Wave 2 models are on half price curly fries. All right. So go support that, even though, I mean, the models are done. We have to sell the models. So we'll be selling them at what they are worth, which is 50% off from their original price. Likewise, for the F-14 checkmates, which is done by the new factory, again, a new factory that has to go through the learning curve. Not a great model at all. That model is perhaps the worst model we've ever done. All right. So probably we'll be putting that on sale again very soon, or just giving it away. I'll see how it goes. But definitely the CA 721417, the VF 211 checkmates, is most likely one of our worst models ever produced, right? Totally amateur, totally uh, no quality control whatsoever. So but it has to be done. It has to be done because we got to find a new factory, and we found that, and then I'm teaching them how to do it. So the same factory that did the worst model is now has produced the TP07 Need for Speed. So you can go check out the improvements. So also, um, um, like you say hi to Tobias Johans. Okay, I can't pronounce your name, so sorry about that. Thank you so much. Love your comment as well. Thank you for the support. So yeah, we had, again, I don't want to dwell back into the past. Look into the future. All right, look into the future. The whole idea is that we need to get factories to produce our stuff, and we weren't able to do so in the previous months. And then when I finally got the people on board, they needed a learning curve, and I just let them do it. And again, it proves my point again that you need to have a sample before you can make a production. So as you can see, right, the checkmates had no sample. There was not even a decal sample. There was no sample. They said that we can just do it like that. And I said, okay, fine. If you want to do it like that, we will give you a chance to do it like that. But as proven, it doesn't work, right? With no sample, there is no check. There is no confirmation on what the colors is going to be. There's no confirmation on whether the markings are done correctly. There's no confirmation on how the thing is going to be assembled. So lots of stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. And going forward, right? Going forward is going to change. So you look at the models that's done for the Shizuoka Hobby Show, the samples. Again, the samples are not the best of samples. Those are the decal samples, right? So the Ultimate Viper Wave 3 having the RAF, the black one, and the RSCF F16D, just enough to give you guys the idea of what's going to be. It's going to be with weathering. It's going to be with color toning, exactly as you see in the show. More so on the black, there's going to be a slight subtle weathering on the black one, and then you'll see, right? You'll see that wave 3 onwards of the Ultimate Vipers, you can see the quality, right? So I'll let the models do the talking, not myself, right? So look forward to that one. That's wave 3. And then of course we have the S2 that is back on track, no pun intended. It's been a while, obviously. Quite a fiasco as well, right? Again, believe the wrong people that, hey, you can get this done in that time, when those people are basically just talking through the bottoms, right? So as you can see, S2 was supposed to be a December 2020 release. So we got 2021, we got 2022, and then now we're getting 2023. So it's a 3-year delay. So as it all works out for Calibre Wings, we always make our tooling minimum 3 years. But that's the old stuff. That's the old BS. The new stuff, look at MiG-31. It was prototype last May, and we're delivering it in August this year. So you can see it doesn't need 2 years or 3 years for tooling. It only takes 2 years and 3 years for people who are incompetent handling my stuff, right? So much so that the SU-22 fitter had to be handed off to another brand because the factory just couldn't get things done to my specifications. But having said that, the release of the SU-22 from JC Wings is pretty decent, right? So I've actually seen it, and I must say that it's actually pretty decently done. Let me know what you guys think of the SU-22 produced by JC Wings, of course, designed by Calibre Wings. All right. So yeah, so you don't need actually to have 2 to 3 years to make a tooling. Definitely not. It's all BS. So the MiG-31 is going to be the proof of that. At least a year. That's reasonable, but not 2, not 3 years. So the next one that's coming up, of course, the B-58. Okay, B-58 is going to be epic, right? Again, I've mentioned in a bit of a video that I did in Shizuoka showing you guys the prototype, because you need to know exactly what it is, right? You can't just base on 3D model, CAD drawings, pictures. You want to see exactly what is going to work. So magnetized parts, you know, basically all magnetized on the pylons, the armaments, the fuel tanks, all these things, landing gear, removable cartridges and stuff like that. And of course, as much as possible, everything would be in die cast. So I mentioned a little bit about the engine, hopefully to be die cast, but again, there is going to be some challenge. We might make the front of it die cast and then the back of it plastic, but it can't be full die cast based on the fact that we need to actually insert some details into the engine and then enclose it. So that is not easy to achieve if the whole thing is die cast. But again, the whole model basically will, I think, at least 70 to 80% is going to be die cast, right? And of course, electroplated. We will actually make the finishing that you want, that shine, that shimmer of silver that is only achievable with electroplating. So I had a bit of a extrapolation on the price, which is about 300 US. I think it's more close towards 330 US dollars. Okay. There'll be people saying, oh, what the hell, 300 US dollars, you're crazy. No, I'm not crazy, because it's going to be a very limited production run, right? It's going to be, in fact, all Calibre Wing stuff going forward is going to be very limited. We're going to do less than 1,000 pieces, maybe 500, maybe 800, but I'm tending towards 500 pieces and definitely going for the quality, right? So again, don't listen to me. Look at the models that's coming up at the end of the year. The first release would be the VF1 Macross Min-Mei VF1. So that one is going to be the first model that's going to be released this year, because we have not released anything this year yet, right? The TP07 Need for Speed. Okay, besides that, those are considered as last year's stuff. In fact, even the Min-Mei is a last year project. So having said that, I'm just all over the place a little bit about the tracker, right? The tracker, I was talking about the tracker just now. That's why I got distracted. So the tracker, again, there was a lot of tooling revisions, and then finally now it is to a state whereby it's going to be good to go. You saw the sample in Shizuoka, which is the Japanese one, which is actually the third installment of the tracker that's planned. The first one is the Netherlands. The second one is the US Navy. But we will not release those two first. We'll actually be releasing the Japanese one first. All right. And then we'll backtrack to those two. So we have 6 months left in this year. May is over, in my opinion. So with June, July, August, September, October, November, December, that's 6 months. And in 6 months, it will be us delivering, number one, the VF1 Min-Mei, number two, the MiG-31, number three, the S2 Japanese tracker, and then two F-16s, and then one F-14. That'll be 6. Okay. So when I was talking earlier this year about releasing at least 4 F-14s, not going to happen because of the way we're progressing. Because we stopped we basically pulled the brakes on the factory that did the checkmates that was not good. Had to go back and teach them to make sure that the TP07 was good and is decent. And then now, instead of putting up the next checkmates, the 1418, I'm going to hold that and put in front a Jolly Roger so that we can actually get something moving, right? You have to have a Jolly Roger to get buyers to buy. And then this Jolly Roger, we will see how it fits with the way we're going to revise the tooling a little bit and get the quality out, especially on the fact that, you know, the main landing gear of the F-14 tends to always want to span out, what we call the number 8 in Chinese, right? The way it goes out. I hate that. So we're going to make it so that it stays upright. That's one improvement that you'll see. And on a Joy Roger that is properly given the weathering, I'll see to that. And nice pilots. And then then we're gonna do away with the classic cats having all those armaments and pylons. Okay, I'm just going to take that away for the time being, because we're not going to be revising the tooling of those pylons. There'll be no magnetic parts. It is the pylons, the same old pylons that people is having trouble fixing it on, right? There is problems with the fit. So instead of having so many problems with the fit, with more parts, there's more problems. We're going to shrink it down. We're just going to make one set of pylons for the F-14 going forward, with a new, blister packaging that only accepts one set of pylons, just like the Top Gun models. And then those pylons would be handled with care so that when you put it up, it's going to fit, right? The missiles on the rails is going to fit, versus having so many parts. We missed out on what fits and what doesn't fit, because there's just too many things, right? A sidewinder going onto a pylon that might not actually fit because of the paint that was too thick or not thick enough, and then it becomes loose. I hate that, right? As much as you guys hate it, I hate it as well. All right. So again, no point crying over spilt milk. All these things are in the past, because it all boils down to the tooling, right? The tooling was done to a point whereby we concentrated on the aircraft itself, but I overlooked on the pylon fits. So it could have been done better, right? But any major revision to the tooling that would incorporate magnetic parts is going to be like in the future, right? Imagine if you have a car now, right? You already own a car, and it's giving some problems, right? But you don't have the funds to buy a new car, okay? But you can't scrap this car, right? So you're telling the mechanic to hey, do what you can for my car and give me a few more years out of it. And then when I'm well and ready, I'll get a new car. So same thing here. The tooling of the F-14, although it's been a few years, right? But there's still legs in this tooling, because we have not even done the D models. The G engines were already made for this F-14, but were not fully utilized. So give this tooling a few more years before we embark on a new tooling for the F-14, right? That is the plan. S2 tracker, you will see it will not be perfect per se, because there's been too much mistooling in the original tooling, such that we are doing so much of retooling to make it work. Okay. But it's good enough, right? It'll be good enough for what it's going to be, which is a model that has the option to have the wings open out and folded with option parts, just like JC Wings Prowler, right? The parts are similar, but mind you, I didn't copy JC Wings, right? I was doing the tracker on my own. It just happens that with a full wing concept, the way you do it is roughly the same. But you will see for yourself how it differs in terms of the fit for our tracker versus the Prowler. So one update on the tracker is that there will not be any bomb bay. Okay. Previously, the bomb bay was planned, but again, the whole struggle with the balance of the model resulted in us having to seal up the bomb bay, the weapons bay, instead of it being hollow, is now completely solid. So there will not be any options to open up the weapons bay. There'll be no weapons for the tracker, no torpedoes, nothing. Just going to be a nice aircraft that you're going to display with the wings folded or wings open, landing gear up. So the major problem was indeed the way to balance up the whole model. So yeah, look forward to having that at the end of this year. We're definitely going to be keeping to our word to deliver the S2, and I will be putting up the early bird for the Hustler in due course. So I'm going to have to draw up the first livery, have some images of what it's going to look like in the site profile before I put the model up for pre-order. And depending on the situation, I might just put it up closer to when the MiG-31 is released, because you want to see how the MiG-31 is being packaged, right? The new way we're going to be doing it, right? Away with the old factories and the new. So the MiG-31 is going to be packaged in a metal tin box. So unlike what we're currently doing now, which is a normal window open box, the MiG-31 has a place in a tin box. So still it's going to be blister, right? Nothing fancy like what I tried with the F-16 Ultimate Vipers with that like EVA foam sort of thing. Not good, right? It didn't work to what I thought it was going to be. So back to blister for MiG-31. I would have wanted to show you guys the MiG-31 like how I showed the B-58, but actually, I have to apologize because I was a little bit tired, right? To think about I have to film this. So I filmed the B-58 on location at the show, but to do that for the MiG-31, I was like, I was a little bit tired, and since I've already shown the test shot, so I thought that that would suffice. But actually, I would have wanted to show you guys the MiG-31, but again, I can't show it to you in full because now that I'm back, it's back with the factory to sort of use it as a template to start getting the production done. Okay. I would have loved to put the MiG-31 closer and then show you guys, right? So you'll have to wait until we go into full production, and then we'll show the MiG-31 again when we are having production. So I hope that that will be the thing to do. All right. So I've covered Ultimate Vipers Wave 3 that's coming up. Again, all the sales information will be up in the coming months. Okay. Again, I have only taken the pictures at the show. I can't bring those back to take in a proper setting behind, because those again are decal samples, and the decal samples are not done in the best way, so that my DSLR camera is going to pick up all the errors on the model, and that's not good, right? So I will wait until we go into production, and then we'll have to take pictures with the actual production models. So Ultimate Vipers Wave 3 coming up. The S2 tracker, Japanese one first. Again, it'll be packaged in the same metal box as the MiG-31 for the tracker, and also similarly planned for the B-58, also a nice tin box that you'll have the protection, right? So that's the idea. Yeah, so those are the things that's coming up for Calibre Wings, and I'm still working on the U2. I've not forgotten that. Like I said, whatever that I have planned to do, I will definitely do, and then I will move on to other stuff. So enough of me blabbering on. Let me just go and check you guys out in the comments and see if there's any questions for me to answer. Let's see. So Tarkan is waiting for the Dutch tracker again. So you have to wait until we actually get the first Japanese one out, and then we'll definitely get the Dutch one out as well. Jude Danker, well, I've actually sent out your Need for Speed and Checkmates today. I wanted to send you some pictures, but I was so busy. I'll send it to you later. Basically, I wanted to show you the model that I've best picked out of the whole lot. Hope that you can accept it, right? If not, please let me know what are the problems. Then we can work towards a resolution, right? Again, I've already declared that this is the worst models. So how could I actually find anything good out of worst models? So that's the whole thing. All right. So yeah, it was difficult for me to choose, but I had to choose something for you. So if it's not satisfied, then please let me know. Having said that, guys, I am not ignoring some of your messages, but it's a little bit overwhelming for me to be handling each and every one in the same capacity, because as much as I'm a one-man operation, there is someone that I've hired to help me with the formality of emails to the customers. So things like saying, hello, so and so, we apologize for the model not being of certain standard. We will improve, and in the meantime, would you accept, maybe like a discount on the model, or a discount on a future purchase? I mean, these are the stuff they were to do, right? When the models are doing well with me checking everything and everything is good, there is obviously a less occurrence of all these kind of issues, right? But when things happen, and in any life, there's always going to be the good times and the bad times. So Calibre Wings has a lot of bad times, I think, right? For good or for bad, for better or for worse, rather. But we're still here, and we're still passionate about what we're doing, and we'll definitely achieve what we want to achieve, definitely, because that is something that will never. Nothing is too difficult to stop us, right? Whatever that I set out to do, I will achieve it, and that is just trying to explain to you guys who may watch the stream and then hear me out, that some of the messages that you are sending me, I don't respond immediately or at all, is because I really have a lot of stuff on my plate, and I don't want to set the precedence that if I start replying to those emails, and then that is no ending, or rather not emails, rather personal messages, right? So yeah, I mean, as much as I would really love to communicate as I'm doing now, right? I'm communicating with you guys. Sometimes there are there are times where I would rather that the form of communication for that particular issue to be handled via the actual customer service, which is Kelly, by the way, right? So it's a small operation, right? I can easily handle it, but I'm paying her so she can do something, right? So, all right, Rodrigo, thanks, my friend, for joining the stream, and thanks for all the support, and thanks for all uh, F, um, the artwork that you rendered us for the MiG 31 and the Max Emilia before, right? So we appreciate it, and you do great work. All right, go check out Rodrigo, his artwork, the profiles of Rodrigo. That's fantastic. All right, Michael Floyd. Yeah, so the whole idea, like I said, if you guys just join in, right, 6 years later or something, the whole idea of Calibre Wings is actually to make models with realistic paint applications, which means subtle weathering, subtle, right? Subtle. The word is subtle, not heavy black lines and all these things. So whatever that you see is like that. It's all not what I have in mind. And slowly but surely, we will have these models in place. And even the MiG 31 that you see at the show is not the final, because I get it, right? There's too much of a contrast between the dark and the light areas. So we're gonna be adjusting it. Not to worry, okay? I'll be personally overseeing the way it's gonna be painted, so that you will have such a less stark contrast between the lights and the dark areas. All right, it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be don't take my word for it. Look out for the model, right? Um, Hey, Matt, how are you? Thanks for joining. Shuhaimi, great job on the weatherings. It's not the best yet. We're still improving, but we're getting there. All right. Um, I can't say too much on this one, my friend. But most likely no Phantom from Calibre Wings. Uzair, checking in and to let me know that you still wish me and Calibre Wings the best. Sure, thank you. All right, but yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Michael Mellon, the Viper looks good. You live by Luke Air Force Base. Okay, great. The 425 Viper. Is that the I'm pardon. I have not gotten that at the back of my head now. Is that the Wrath, or is that the Wrath? Or is that the other one? Hold on. Arthur, just asking if there'll be a Taiwan Argentina Navy version. Um, that's way ahead. I'm already having enough handling the current S2. So to have a new S2 with the turbo engines is a new tooling, which I don't have. So I don't think I'll be having that anytime soon, unless, of course, as I always mention, if I have all the money in the world, I can tool everything, but I don't have that. So I have to do it one step at a time, and if time allows, we will get there. All right. Yes, I'm already looking at the wolf pack, but we'll see. Again, there's only 6 months left to the end of this year, and we're not kidding anybody to say that we can churn out that many models in 6 months. Okay, so I have to get the quality back on track first before we look at anything else. That's the most important thing. And the most important thing is to get these models that we've shown at Shizuoka out by this year at the correct quality. Okay, so I'm going to be having my hands full. Chris Towers, the shirt, it's a VF1J designed by Roberto Garcia, and we have this one shirt done by those uh snap tea or something, right? So you just put the design on the app, and then you just place the order, and they'll send it to you. In fact, if you go to the snap tea app and search for this, you might actually find the shirt, and you can actually order it if you are somewhere where they deliver the t-shirt. But thanks, Chris. Thanks a lot. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for the support, and I'm just apologetic that it's not something that they just pull out and then that's great. I pull out one, nope, two, nope, three, two cartons of 12 pieces, no, and I got to settle for the 13th piece, right? And yeah, I'll send the pictures in just a little bit, or maybe I'll just do it now. Let me see. I'll just do it later, all right? Let's get on with the stream first. And again, there's a limited amount of energy for a person, and I'm handling both Ramen Toy and Calibre Wings. And we were rushing for the samples for the show. And again, I never like last minute work. But sometimes it just happens to be this way. We had already given the notice that we're going for Shizuoka back, 2 months ago, I think at least 2 months ago, and got the factory to work on these samples. But again, not everything is there on the plate, right? The MiG-31 tooling was in revision stage. We had to wait for it to be revised, and then finally we got the pieces out, and then we quickly put it together, put some decals on for the markings, get the weathering on. I'm sorry, get the weathering on based on my previous sample. And I mean, if I had more time, I would have actually gotten the correct shade then. Even there were very eagle-eyed collectors who saw that there were parts missing on the MiG-31 that was on display at Shizuoka. All right, so there you go, right? When you rush the work, there'll be things that will go wrong. But at least it did its job, right? We needed the display at the show, and we got the display at the show. I had to physically move all these displays there myself. Uh, you know, the work took until the 1st of May to complete. I was up till like 3 in the morning that fateful night. I had to drive back home here, and then 7 a.m. I was up again taking some pictures, not related to Calibre Wings, but Ramen Toy. I was taking some pictures of the car, and then I had to go off on a flight to somewhere else first before the Japan route. So yeah, I had to lug the models in the luggage, fearing that they would be damaged along the way. Fortunately, the damage was minimal. We just lost some wheels that were broken off on the B-58. We got some propeller that was broken off on the S2, and thankfully they were put back together for the show. As you all saw, it was good enough. And yeah, once the show completed, I was again getting the samples and then back to home base over here, and started to drill the factory on all the things that need to be taken care of, the points. So it's not as simple as anybody thinks, right? That why don't I just sell it to this or that company, or why don't I just take a back seat, or get out of this place? You think the models can become the models that they are without me? So it's just the most ludicrous of ideas. But anyway, no problem, right? So I'm digressing. All right, I'm just a little bit tired as well, right? It's actually 12:40 in the morning. But it's all good. I needed to make this live stream because I'm going to be on a flight again in about I would say 24 hours, right? So yeah, so let's do this live stream, and then let's get connected and answer some questions. All right, so we have Pablo, again, what about a Top Gun Dark Star model? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at a Top Gun Dark Star model as yet. Johnson, yup, extremely looking forward to the RCF F16D. Thank you. I'm looking forward as well. In fact, I was wanting to make the model ready for National Day, but unfortunately, I'm not sure if we can make it, but we'll see. All right, we'll see. Michael talks about the Top Gun Maverick Rogue Nation Tomcat. Yes, we will look into that. Okay, we need to do it step by step. And I was definitely given some inspiration looking at the Shizuoka hobby show, where they actually had the lots of F-14 Tomcat Top Gun theme F-14s models at the show. So that was definitely an inspiration. Janos Wolf Carpenter. Next few years sounds very far away, right? But time is you have to calculate it, right? So I don't foresee any F-14Ds at least next year, because again, my tooling has the glove vanes, and you don't want the glove vanes on the F-14D. And I initially wanted to make a new tooling, which I've shown you guys, right, with the glove vane concealed and with flaps and everything. But again, it was not done because the prototype that was done by this incompetent factory doesn't work, right? The way I wanted it to have the flaps option out and retracted, the way they designed it for me is wrong. It doesn't work. Okay. And I've already severed ties with that factory, so that project is so-called in limbo. So until I have enough funds to make a new F-14 tooling, it's not going to happen as yet. And that's why I've been trying to explain. Update weapon pack. Again, we had the weapons pack the first round, and the way it was designed with the very fragile packs, I'm not happy with those packs at all, right? But it is what it is. We still need to make those run so that certain, collectors can still purchase those bombs in the Soviet weapon set 1 to arm onto the fencer. But given myself, I can't proceed to the next set of weapons, considering that it still will use the same very fragile packs, which I don't like at all, right? It was suggested by that factory, and I bought into it. I thought it was good, but actually no, it's not good. So I have to do the whole thing revamp. Is just something that some stuff just can't be corrected just like that, right? Again, unless there's lots of money. If you have lots of money, no problem. We can just call for a retooling of everything. But we don't have that kind of money, right? So we need to make the money first before we do better stuff. And that's just the reality. Thank you so much. No problem at all. Isaac, come. Is there an early bird for the B-58? Yes, there is. Okay, so the way we're going to go forward with our progress and our development is I'm going to do more B2C, right? So B2C business, that means direct sales to the end customer like yourself, less of the distributors, limited quantities, and there will always be a 30% discount early bird if you commit and support the project on the onset. So I have to thank the people who actually supported the MiG-31 at the prototype stage, right? without seeing any without seeing any physical diecast model. They put down the money, right? They put down physical money with me, and I appreciate that. And I didn't flake, right? I used that money, and we made the tooling, and now it's all there to see. The MiG-31 uh, in all its glory, and it's still not the final article. It's not the final article. There's so many parts that were not done properly for that sample for Shizuoka. All right. So all this is now on my watch to make sure that your investment, your pledge of the MiG-31 at the early bird will see the final product fulfilled come August. All right. So that goes for B50 as well. When I put out the early bird, that is for you guys to support the project, and there'll be a early bird discount of 30% off the $330 for the B58. All right. So that's the way it's going to be. About the MiG-31 with Kazakhstan decals, surely we want to amortize the tooling. So surely there will be more liveries to come. In fact, there is such a limited amount of liveries for the MiG-31 that, it would be crazy if we don't do this Kazakhstan version. All right. So I hope that answers your question. But please let us first put out the first MiG-31, and then we'll go from there. All right. We got a fan from the ramen toy community. So hi, Road Pick John. Thanks for joining. Oh, so the 425 is the RCF unit. Okay, thanks, Michael. Thanks for that. All right, Daryl Sim, happy that my suggestion. Yeah, so I think Daryl talked about a part on the spine on the tail of the F-16D that wasn't supposed to be there, and we did it. So yeah, thanks a lot. Great, right? I've been wanting to do an RCF for some time, so thankfully now I got a chance to do it. Great. All right, guys. So I ranted on for a little bit. Thanks. I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's 45 minutes in. I think. I think that in this 45 minutes, I've given enough information for you guys to hold on, right, and await the next Calibre Wings release, and then see for yourself the model that we are making. Call it a new lease on life, call it whatever, but that's the way it's gonna be, right? There was the past, right? We got the horrendous Ultimate Viper Wave 2, which is ridiculous, wrong colors, because the factory did not allow me to do the colors correct, the color matching. And then of course we had the checkmates, which is badly done. That I admit that. And we had some Su-24s that were also badly done, right? New factories again. The idea of trying to have different factories as like spreading your eggs in different baskets, but that's not the way, right? The way to do it is one factory, focus in, teach them how to do it right, and that's the way Calibre Wings will function. Not by many factories, or even two factories or three, but just one factory, and then making sure everything is done properly. Even look at the elevator, right? Nothing heard out, right? I've given up on the elevator because who takes 3 years to make the elevator? The elevator was presented in Wonder Festival Shanghai in October 2020. We've had October 2021, we've had October 2022, and we're reaching October 2023, and I've heard nothing about the elevator, right? So I'm sorry, it's under Calibre Wings, but I've no jurisdiction on the elevator. It is now out of my hands. So for those who have placed your orders, if you, I don't know, if it needs to be refunded, it gets refunded. Uh, of course, my sincere apologies, but because I'm it's out of my hands. I'm not responsible for the elevator, right? The elevator has been given to another party to fulfill. Okay, so that's what I can tell you. So if it comes out, it comes out, and I'll be eager to find out the elevator if it actually works the way I wanted it to work. The reason why I was adamant that the elevator is not working to the way I want it to work, and I asked for the changes. Again, it's my problem. I asked for the changes, and they are sick and tired of me changing this and changing that. So they give me the middle finger, right? And then that's it. The elevator it's no longer in my jurisdiction. All right, guys. I finished my sorry. I finished my drink. I had ice. There's too much to go. I need to take my rest now. I have a full day tomorrow, even though it's a Sunday. I got a full day of photo shoot. I'll be having a live stream at 9:30 p.m. Sunday night, just 3 hours before my flight. Well, before I get to the airport. So I'll be taking a rest soon. Rest assured that I'm on top of all the projects that I promised everybody, Calibre Wings related. And I'll be giving more updates on the Facebook as the means of communication. And as and when we have the chance, we'll do another live stream. All right. So until then, take care. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. And then keep on believing, and then you'll get your models and you'll see it when you see it. And then let me know what you think. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Noel signing off. Take care. I'll see you guys soon.